Okay, so picking up where we left off, so we did look at 14. Okay, so that answered that question. So we stopped at 10. So we're going to do another one like that. Number 12. So with these ones, remember we're finding the who and the what, and then the population of interest, like overall, which in some cases is going to kind of be the same thing, but anyways. All right, so 12. And this is on page 17. The Cleveland Casting Plant is a large, highly automated producer of gray and whatever that word is, iron automotive castings for Ford Motor Company. The company is interested in keeping the pouring temperature of the molten iron in degrees Fahrenheit close to the specified value of 2,550 degrees. Cleveland Casting measured the pouring temperature for 10 randomly selected crankshafts. So, the who. Yeah, how many? Like specifically? Okay, so the 10 crankshafts in Cleveland. And then the what? So what are they looking at?
The pouring temperature?
Yep. The pouring temperature of iron. So then specifically the population of interest then would be what? Like the entire thing. So like our who was specific to the 10 crankshafts in Cleveland. So what would the entire population then be? Okay, all the Cleveland casting crankshafts. All right, so let's look at one of them that wants all of the W's and H and then the variables, and it wants us to specify if they're categorical or quantitative. Just as a refresher, what are the categorical, or like what kind of a variable would categorical be? Or you can give like an example of it.
Like a jersey number, like a zip code, or like. Yeah.
Okay, so like a number that's going to describe a situation. What about quantitative? Yeah, so something that kind of has units that goes with it. All right, so number 20 is what we're going to look at. All right, business analyst hoping to provide information helpful to American grape growers compiled these data about vineyards: size in acres, number of years in existence, state, varieties of grapes grown, average case price, gross sales, and percent profit. So, I'm going to go through and do all the W's and H. So, who? Vineyards. What?
All like the other half of the problem. Like,
Yeah, starting at size.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you can just copy those. So size. That's got to be the most tedious part of the problem, is copying them all down. All right, so when
I want to say not specific.
Yeah.
That's right.
So this one, they don't specify anything about a time frame of when it would have occurred, so you can just say not specific. Where yeah, you can make an argument for not specific or for America. I would take either. Because I mean it's talking about American grape growers. So I mean you could say that, but the book would tell you that the answer is not specific. So, but I could make an argument for either one. So, why? Yep, provide information. If you want to be a little bit more specific, for grape growers. But again, if you just put provide information, that would also be okay. And then how are they doing it? Not specific. All right, so that takes care of all of our W's and H. So obviously that one had several things that weren't specific. Some problems are going to give you everything that you need, and some of them may only actually fill out one or two of the categories of things that you need. Hopefully they'll give you a little bit more than that, but not always. So we want to list out our categorical variables and our quantitative ones. So which ones are categorical?
State.
Yep.
Varieties of grapes grown. I want to say that's it.
Yep. So then, obviously, whatever's left has to go in there. So make sure that you're listing out the units that go with it. So, like, for example, with size, that you would want to specify acres. Obviously, that one's actually very specifically says it, but like the number of years in existence, like that already tells you in years, so you don't have to like rewrite years. And if you want to like abbreviate using like a number symbol and shortening years and stuff like that, that's fine. You don't have to like actually write everything out. Average case price, I would just go ahead and just say assume dollars with something like that, or just put a dollar sign. That's what I usually do. Gross sales, again, I would just put a dollar sign with it. And then percent profit, I mean, it kind of says it, but I'll usually just draw a little percent sign after it. Any questions about that one? All right, so we're gonna jump over to that worksheet. And let me decide which one I want to do. Let's do number 2. All right, so Suppose a Consumer Reports article published in June 2005 on energy bars gave the brand name, flavor, price, number of calories, and grams of protein and fat. Identify the following. So, who?
Consumer Reports? Or is it candy bars? Or energy bars?
Yeah, it's the energy bars. So it's like when you're thinking about this stuff, it's what are they like analyzing?
Okay.
It's like the who are they analyzing, which sometimes is going to be a person and sometimes it's just going to be like an item.
Okay.
So energy bars, and then what? Yeah, brand name, flavor, price, number of calories, and then grams of protein and fat. When?
June 2005.
Yep. June 2005. Where? So, like, where are they putting the information?
Consumer Reports.
Yeah. So sometimes the where is like where the stuff is getting published, and sometimes it's where the analysis is being run at. So like sometimes you might say like at W Baptist Christian School, we are looking at the test scores of the high school students and the locker number or something like that. And so like if that's the case, then it's not necessarily telling you where it's reported, but it was occurring at W Baptist Christian School. So there's kind of two different things that you can look at there. How? So, I mean, on how they collected it, we don't know, but how they're going to get the information out there is they're publishing it in an article, so you could technically justify either way. Some of these are just ones that, like I said, they have like multiple, depending on how you look at it. But it's published in an article. And then why?
Not specific.
Not specific. So then which of the variables are categorical?
Brand name.
Okay. So then the quantitative ones, you, what?
Price, number of calories, and grams of protein.
Yep. So the only one that you really need to put a unit on that's not already kind of written into it is the price. I would just put a dollar sign. That at least makes it known that it's money. So any questions about that one? Anything? All right, so I'm gonna have y'all do the other two on here. So there's one on the back and one more on the front, and then we'll talk about them after you do that, and then I'll give you a couple to work on out of the actual book before we start chapter 3 tomorrow.